Hey guys, Kazi gets in here. Welcome back. We're back with Hakuoki. It's been a while. It's been like a week since I last uploaded this. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm glad we're back. So let's see what happens next with Hijikata. We're about to start chapter 3. We are just about to start, Yeah. We're about to begin chapter 3, and there's like 4 sections, so it shouldn't be too terribly bad, I hope. I have no idea. Never done it. So we'll find out what is going to happen. So let's get going. I think, let's see, we left off in October 1866, so let's see what year we're in now. Chapter 3, April 1867. Yayo. Been another year. The seasons changed and spring came. Kyoto was filled with cherry blossoms and the whole city took on a festive atmosphere. Surrounded by the gentle cheer of spring, my footsteps felt somehow lighter. Okita watched me prance about with a crooked smile. Are you feeling better at least? I hope. It's been almost a freaking year. I hope you're better.
いいよ。急がなくたって。どこか行くあてがあるわけじゃないしね。
You don't need to hurry. We aren't going anywhere in particular.
散歩だと思ってゆっくり行けばいいよ。
Just think of it as a nice, relaxing walk. Okay, I'll be careful. It seemed to me that it was dangerous for a captain of the Shinsengumi to think that way when he was out on patrol, but I didn't dare say anything to Okita. Then again, things have been pretty quiet lately. Perhaps he was right. No, I told myself, I had to focus. Now was not the time or the place for high spirits. Nearby, I noticed a few Ronin had slunk off into the side streets of the first glimpse of the Shinsengumi. How suspicious. Why run away unless they knew they were guilty of something? I stared after them intently, and it must have looked as if I was about to give chase because Okita gave a bark of laughter.
あのね、いちいちそんなのに反応していてもしょうがないから。
Don't waste your energy on them. They're small potatoes. Really?
もし本当に聴衆あたりの患者だったら、もっと堂々としているはずだよ。
If they were Chonsun guys, then they wouldn't just run off like that. They'd be more confident.
僕らの姿を見て慌てて動くような連中は、正直言って雑魚かな。
The guys who take off like that when we show up are almost always just small-time punks. Oh, I see. I didn't.
少しは悪さをしているのかもしれないけどね。逃げた理由は、大方この羽織が目に入ったからだと思うよ。
They're probably guilty of something, maybe some minor crime, but the blues scare off a lot of people these days. The uniform's gotten pretty famous around Kyoto, hasn't it?
逆に目立って困ることが多くなってるけどね。
Well, could be infamous, depending on who you ask. It was true, the Shinsengumi blues brought recognition, but that was a double-edged sword. Sometimes they commanded obedience or respect, but sometimes the response was less pleasant. Their uniform had become a symbol, but there was no argument among the Shinsengumi as to whether or not they should adopt a new uniform. Some people, such as Ito, just felt the uniform should change because it wasn't fashionable. Is Ito back from the Imperial territories yet?
そうみたいだね。帰ってこなくても一向に構わなかったんだけど。
Yeah, I think so. Can't say I'd mind it if he stayed out there, though. He went to go recruit some of his friends and acquaintances, right?
っていう話だけど、果たしてあの人、どこまで行ってきたのかな？
That's what he says, but I gotta wonder how far he really went, you know? How far? What do you mean? If he went out past the Imperial territories, then he must have really cared about the Shinsengumi, right? After all, to go that far would be quite a trip to make just to get more recruits. Okita, however, didn't seem to think so.
君はそう思ってるんだ。
That's what you think? Am I wrong?
違わないけどね。
No, not really. Okita stopped and gazed off into space for a moment. When he spoke, it was to himself.
近藤さんは優しいからな。伊藤さんなんて早く切っちゃえばいいのに。
Kondo's too nice. He should just kill Ito. Well, that just solves tons of problems now, doesn't it? Okita? He had a tendency of talk of killing too easily and too lightly, but how could you joke about killing one of your companions? He let his eyes slide to mine and gave me a small sigh. A companion, huh? The scorn in his voice wasn't for me, it was for Ito. Ever since he first arrived, Okita and the rest of the captains had never seemed to like Ito much, but I was surprised that he would say something like that where anyone could have heard. I glanced around to make sure no one had been paying attention. What? Why is my lookalike here? There in the crowd, a face I had seen before. Kyoto? The face that looked back could easily have been mine. There was no way I could have ever mistaken that face. But no sooner had I spotted her than she disappeared, melting into the crowd. Kyoto!
Chotto!
Hey! He made a grab for my arm, but I already moved out of his reach. I might get in trouble for it, but if I didn't go quickly, I'd lose her. Sorry, Okita, there's something I have to do. I caught a glimpse of his confused face as I ducked into the crowd.
勝手な行動は慎めっていつも言ってると思うんだけど、まったくこっちの身にもなってほしいな。
How many times do I have to tell her not to run off without permission? Why can't you look at this from my point of view? Yeah, kind of looks like I'm running away. I'm not. Totally not. I promise. I think. I ran around the crowd as fast as I could, bobbing and weaving around citizens going about their business, until at last I caught up to her. She was Kyoto, no mistake. Kyoto, do you remember me?
新選組の人と一緒にいた人ですよね。覚えてますよ。
Yes, you were with the Shinsengumi. I remember you. She looked surprised.
急に声を上げて追ってくるものだからびっくりしたじゃないですか。
You ran after me so suddenly. It scared me. Well, if you just hold on and waited when I called your name, this would not have resulted in a chase, now did it? I'm sorry about that, but there's something I wanted to ask you. I realized belatedly that I didn't know what I planned to do with her answer once I had it, but I knew I had to ask. One of the Shinsengumi saw a girl who looked like me at Sanjo Ohashi Bridge a while ago. Could that have been you?
さあ、三条大橋は普通に通るところですよ。そこに行って何か問題でも？
I don't know. I do go by Sanjo Ohashi fairly often. Is that a problem? She laughed politely. Oh.
もしかしてあなたが聞きたいのは夜に行ったことがあるかどうかじゃないかしら。
Did you want to ask if I'd been there at night? You know what I want to ask you, don't you? Could it be? Could Kyoto really have been the girl who had interacted with Shinsengumi that night? If it was an autumn night and you got in the Shinsengumi's way.
もしそうなら問題大ありだね。君には死んでもらうことになるけど。
Then you and I need to have a little talk. I don't want to give away all the details, but it ends with your death. Oh, Okita! I hadn't realized he caught up with me so quickly.
あら、新選組の沖田さんじゃありませんか。いつぞやはどうもありがとうございました。
Oh, you're Okita, for the Shinsengumi. Thank you for helping me the other day. She bowed, but Okita didn't even seem to notice.
で、答えはどっち？心当たりはあるの？ないの？
So, you gonna answer the question? Were you there that night? Okita wore the same half smile he always did, but his body was tight as a bowstring, ready to have his blade in hand at a moment's notice.
死んでもらうなんて、そんな怖いことを言わないでくださいな。
My death? Please, don't say scary things like that.
三条大橋なんて昼間は誰でも通るところじゃないですか。
Lots of people pass by Sanjo Ohashi during the day.
それに夜なんて、あの警察騒ぎで怖くて近づけやしません。
At night, though, I don't go near it because of the notice board stuff. It was almost as if she had read my mind.
なのに、ただ顔が似てるというだけで私を疑うなんて、ひどいです。そんなこと知りません。
Sorry, I can't tell when she's done talking or not. I'm like, her mouth barely moves. I can't believe you suspect me just because my face happens to look like someone else's. I don't know anything. Oh, of course, I understand. She looked so sad. I felt I had to say something. I knew it wasn't you. After all, how can a normal girl do anything to the men of the Shinsengumi? Okita seemed less convinced. His eyes shifted to me.
どうしてそう思うの？女の人だから？それとも自分と似てるから？
And why do you say that? Because she's a girl? Or because she looks like you? No, that's not it. I couldn't bring myself to admit that he was exactly right. I assumed Kyoto wouldn't possibly have done it simply because she was a girl.
もう行ってもいいですか？それじゃ私、失礼します。
Can I go now? Excuse me. Kyoto. She turned and ducked away, disappearing back into the crowd. Had I done the right thing, I wondered, in covering for her? I was pondering whether or not I should give chase again when I heard Okita begin to cough. Aw, you're still sick? Dear God. Okita, are you okay? He was bent nearly double and coughing uncontrollably, his entire body shaking with each cough. Okita! Stay back! As I stepped toward him, he threw out a hand and twisted his face upward to glare at me. What?
大丈夫だから君はそこでじっとしていて
I'm fine. Just stay there, okay? Yeah, it's like, fuck, I have to act it out. Do I get it or something? Why do you want me to keep away? You just want me to touch you? It's the sheer force of his personality that stopped me, not just his words. After a while, his coughing slowed and subsided entirely. Okita, is something wrong?
何が
Like what? As he turned to look at me this time, his sardonic half smile was back. He looked every part of usual Okita, except that he had grown frighteningly pale. I mean, why don't we find somewhere to rest? You look like you were in a lot of pain.
君のせいでここまで走らされたからね。それで疲れただけだよ。
Oh, I was just tired. I mean, you did make me run all the way here. But...
もう大丈夫さ。落ち着いたから。それよりも。
No but, I'm fine. Now, his expression was suddenly hard.
彼女、カオルさんのことだけど、生殺事件のことを確かめたかった気持ちはわかる。大事なことだからね。
About the girl. Asking her about the thing with the noseboard was important. I agree with you. Good then. I need to know if she was an enemy of the Shinsengumi or not. I need to know. I mean, she looks like me. I gotta know.
でもそれならなおのこと、一人で動くべきじゃない。敵が現れたら、君一人で対処できる？
But even, no. Because of how important that is, you shouldn't have run off on your own like that. What if she had been an enemy of ours? Could you have handled her? Well...
無用の心配だったって言い切れる？彼女が君をおびき寄せるつもりだったとしたら、この場所は格好の襲撃場所だよ。
Did you ever consider the possibility that she planned to lure you here? It's a great spot for an ambush, you know. You're right. She hadn't tried to attack me, but Okita was right. Next time, I might not be so lucky. I could have easily run right into a trap.
一緒にいる以上、行動には注意してもらわないと。自分は役立たずの子供だって自覚しなよ。
You need to be more careful, alright? I can take care of you, but without me around, you're just a useless kid. Sorry. The Shinsengumi had done so much for me, I just wanted to give something back. Instead, I'd only cause more trouble for them.
やれやれ。お説教はここまで。
Alright, lecture's over. Okita looked tired and more than a little frustrated. I tried to apologize again, but he cut me off.
妙な遠慮はやめなよ。頼るべきときは頼ればいいんだからさ。
Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to.
ま、今さら迷惑だなんて思わないからさ。散々かけっぱなしだからね。
I've gotten pretty used to saving your ass at this point. A couple more times isn't gonna mean much. He let us snort of laughter. Okay. Just like, is this the other side of my room that I never see? Oh yeah, it is. Huh. But at night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I lay awake thinking about what had happened. I couldn't forget what Okita had said. A useless kid. He was right. Compared to the captains, no. Even compared to the weakest Shinsengumi foot soldier, I was pathetic. It wasn't as if I had tried to imagine myself as some sort of warrior, but I have my lack of worth so bluntly stated was something of a blow. I lay there staring at the ceiling. I couldn't go on like this. Tomorrow, I should start working harder. I didn't want to run off on some pointless adventures that did nothing more than cause trouble. That meant I needed to develop better judgment. If I want to do that, I need my sleep. But no sooner had I closed my eyes. What? There was a crash in the hallway outside my room. I rolled up and out of my bed just as the door exploded into my room. The fuck? Standing in the hall was one of the Shinsengumi soldiers. Well, hi! Why are you here? Why are you in my room? Why are your eyes glowing? Is something wrong? You're not planning on eating me, are you? Why are you staring at me like that? It was dark inside and out. I couldn't see his face. He just stood there. I felt a chill run up my spine. Did you need something? Blood. I need blood. It was one of the Furies. Give me blood. I can see now his face was twisted in madness and his eyes shone with twin fires in the night. His hair glistened white in the moonlight. He was a member of the Fury Corps and he was utterly and completely mad. I had to call for help. I couldn't possibly face a deranged superhuman monster on my own. No, I couldn't call for help. If I did, when the Secret of the Furies would get out, that'd be bad for the Shinsengumi. I had to find another way. The Fury, unfortunately, was not similarly encumbered by doubts. Oh, shit. His sword hissed through the air, and I felt metal on its blade burn into my flesh of my arm. Blood sprang from the cut. Oh, Chizuru, are you okay? I pressed down it desperately with my free hand, but didn't avail. Thick red liquid spilled between my fingers, fled down my arm and onto the floor. Yes, blood. Give me blood. He began to creep towards me, his movements odd and jerky, like a massive spider. I backed away from him until I felt my back hit the wall. I was going to die. Suddenly, I remember Okita's words from earlier that day.
妙な遠慮はやめなよ。頼るべきときは頼ればいいんだからさ。
Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to. That was it then. My death wasn't worth their secret. Someone help! Blood! Blood! He was down on his hands and knees licking my spilt blood off the floor. There was no samurai there. There wasn't even a person in him anymore. The blood on the floor had distracted him, but I knew that would only last precious seconds. If help didn't arrive soon, but seconds went by hours. Please, I begged any god who might be listening, please, someone come. I expected more. Not enough. Not enough. He looked up from the floor. My sleeve was soaked in blood from the cut on my arm. His eyes locked onto it, and I saw them light up with animal hunger. I probably should cut off that sleeve of my kimono and toss it at him so we can just have that to soak on. Sip off of, whatever. His grin was a nightmarish thing.
それだ。お前の血をもっとよこせ。
Yes, that! Give me more of your blood! No! There was no doubt. He was going to kill me. I froze.
おい、生きてるか?
Hey, you alive? Yes! Hijikata, thank you. Hijikata had appeared in the doorway, his sword already drawn and shining in the moonlight. The Fury spun to attack Hijikata, but the commander's sword was faster. Ah! His twisted cry reverberated from the hot walls of the room, but he stood despite the wound Hijikata had given him, a sword in hand.
今のうちだ。早くこっち来い。
Why'd you put your sword away? Get over here, now! Yes! As I ran to his side, I heard other footsteps pounding in the hallway. In mere moments, they resolved into figures of the other captains.
こりゃひでえ。話が通じる状態じゃねえな。
Shit! This is bad. I don't think he can even understand us.
そうさな。ここまで狂われちゃ生かしておけないな。
Yeah, he's too far gone. We can't let him live. At some unspoken signal, a chorus of blades slid from the scarabs.
新発さん、佐野さん、抜かるんじゃないぜ。
Shin, Sano, don't screw this up.
ヘイスケ、この野郎、誰に物言ってやがる。
Who the hell do you think you are, Heisuke?
羅刹だろうと平大使に遅れを取るようじゃ。組長返上しなきゃなんねえぞ。
If a captain can't take out a single soldier, even if he's a fury, he'll have to resign, assuming he wasn't dead. They fanned out quickly, surrounding the wounded shoulder. There was no escape. The captains all attacked at once, and the fury died almost instantly. The excitement was over. Or so I thought. But I hadn't been the only captains who had heard my cry for help.
何なんですかこれは。
Uh-oh. What's going on here? Damn it.
そこの大使はどうしたんですか。部屋を血で汚すなんて、なんて下品な。
What on earth happened to that man? Oh, this room's been stained with blood. How savage. His voice and his face were filled with shock and horror.
幹部が寄ってたかって大使を殺して説明しなさい。一体何があったんです。
Why have our captains cut down one of their own men? Explain this at once. What happened here? The captains fell silent.
みんな申し訳ありません。私の監督不行き届きです。
Well, I guess we're letting Ito in on this little secret. My apologies. My lack of discipline is at fault here. Sana? His appearance surprised me and likely everyone else. It seemed like it would have been more prudent for him to remain hidden. Needless to say, the appearance of a man he had thought dead did little to improve Ito's disposition. He just probably like, I'm crazy. Fuck me.
三男さん？なぜあなたがここに？
Sanan? What are you doing here? Ito's usual composure was almost entirely gone, and he gaped openly at Sanan. I couldn't really blame him. I probably would have done much the same thing if I saw dead men walking and talking.
その説明は後ほど。とにかくこの場の始末をつけなくては。
I will explain later, but first we must clean up this mess. Sanan's face looked tight and drained. As the commander of the Fury Corps, he felt very responsible for what had happened, as the man who had gone mad was supposed to have been under his control.
三男さんのせいじゃねえよ。
It's not your fault, Sanan.
薬の副作用ってやつなんだろ。仕方ねえって。
It's just a side effect of the treatment, right? Nothing you do.
ちょっとどういうこと？
What?
薬？
Oh.
一体何の話？三男さん？
What are you saying? Treatment? What are you talking about, Sanan?
この件に関してお答えできません。
I'm afraid I cannot divulge the information. Sun's gaze slid to Ito for a moment, but he said nothing further. After all, what could he possibly say? How could one admit they had been creating inhuman monsters in secret of one's own soldiers? Ito's composure regained at last. He leveled a glare at Sanan.
私は三男さんは亡くなったと聞かされておりましたのにね。みんなしてこの糸をたばかっていたと。
I was told that Sanan had passed away, and with no reason to doubt that information, I believe that was true. I see now that you have all conspired against me.
この糸は仮にも新選組の参謀ですよ。その私に黙って計りごとを。納得のいく説明をしてもらえるんでしょうね。
I am the deputy commander of the Shinsengumi. To do all of this without informing me? I dearly hope you have a satisfactory explanation.
ああ、いちいちうるせえんだよ、てめえは。ちっとは黙ってやがれ。
If all you're gonna do is bitch, why don't you just do us a favor and shut up?
なんて口の利き方を。土方君、あなたは。
What? How dare you speak to me in such a manner? Hijikata, you...
まあまあ、伊藤さん。
Calm down now, Ito.
トシも悪気があるわけじゃないんだ。状況が状況だ。勘弁してもらえないかな。
I'm sure Toshi didn't mean to snap. We're just a little on the edge right now. You have to understand.
なんて野蛮な人たち。この糸、こんな方々と一緒になんていられませんわ。
Oh, I understand, all right. I understand that you are savages, each and every one of you. I cannot buy the company of such uncivilized creeps any longer. Okay, bye.
三男さん、あなたの口からちゃんと事情を説明してもらいますからね。
And as for you, Sanan, when you're finished here, I expect to hear why you are not, in fact, deceased, and why this was hidden from me.
聞いてるんですか、三男さん。
Are you listening to me, Sanan? That doesn't sound good. Sanan? Suddenly I realized he wasn't being dismissive of Ito. There was something very wrong with him. His face was twisted in pain, and he didn't seem to respond at all, no matter how much I shouted his name.
どうした、サンナさん。
What's wrong, Sanan? Sanan,
Sorry!
Chizuru, get back! What? His hair had begun to turn white. By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. Sanan shot out like an angry snake and closed around my wrist. Ow! The strength of his grip was unbelievable. His fingers might have been made of stone for all I could move them. I almost felt the bones of my arms begin to bend under the strain. Sanan!
血です。
Blood. His blood. His fingers pressed against my arm too hard, wiping off some of the blood from the cut the soldier had given me.
血をください。君の血を私に。
Please, give me blood. Your blood. No! Let me go!
やめろ、三男さん。
Stop it, Sanan!
くそ、三男さんまで血の匂いに当てられやがったか。
Damn it, the smell of blood's driving me crazy.
三男さん、そいつを離せよ。
Let go, Sanan! Each man still had his hand on their sword, but I could see the hesitation in their eyes. It was Hijikata who finally spoke.
取り押さえろ。多少手荒になっても構わねえ。
Hold him down. We're gonna have to get a little rough.
仕方ねえ。
Damn it. Guess we don't have a choice.
悪く思わないでくれよ、三男さん。
Sorry about this, Sanan.
やらせるわけにはいかないんだよ。
I can't let you hurt Chizuru. They moved into a circle around Sanan, their blades glinting. No, that's
君
Sanan.
たち、まさか三男さんを。勝手なことはこの伊藤が許しませんわ。
Are you gonna kill Sanan? I can't let you do that. What's the matter to you? You thought he was dead. I could just right the wrong. Like you thought he was alive and just kill him, and then I ain't got no problem. Other than why was he alive in the first place? See? Perfectly fine. Don't worry, Ito. Stay out of it.
伊藤さん、ここは危険だ。あとはトシたちに任せて、俺たちは部屋から出ていいよ。
Ito is dangerous here. We should just leave this to Toshi and the guys. Come on.
近藤さん何を話しなさいよ
Kondo, what are you? Unhand me! Kondo pulled a struggling Ito from the room and off down the hall.
ありがてえ。
I'm just
あとはこ
perfectly
っちの始末をつけるだけか。
I was like, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just sitting here observing this. This guy's bending the crap out of my wrist. Actually, more he's holding me still as he plays with my arm wound. Good, now we just gotta take care of him.
だが、それがなかなか。
It's not gonna be easy.
三男さんの腕は半端じゃないし、まして今は。
Someone's always been pretty strong, but now he's, well, you know.
そうです。血が欲しい。私の体が血を欲しているのです。
Blood. Yes, my body. It needs the blood. His tongue flickered out to lick my blood from his fingertips.
もう許せねえ。行くぜ新発さん、佐野さん。
Alright, that's enough. Come on, Sano, let's go.
おう、一度にかかるぜ。
We all talk together.
いや、待て。
Wait. Oh, sorry. Wait.
なんだってんだ、土方さん。
What? We don't have all night, Hijikata.
三男さんの様子がおかしい。
He's doing something. Yeah, I'm gonna let him do that. It's gonna murder my voice if I try.
おい、三男さん、
Sana,
どうしたんだ。
what's going on?
私は一体
What happened? The madness was gone from Sanan's eyes and his hair was fading back to its normal color. Sanan?
雪村君。私は一体何を。
Yukimura? What am I doing here? Oh, thank goodness. You're yourself again. I was relieved to see they hadn't forced Katsunan down, but why had he returned to normal?
こりゃ、どういうことだ。
What the hell just happened?
俺に聞かれてもわからねえよ。
Your guess is as good as mine. By the way, where's Okita in all this?
俺にもわからん。
Hell if I know. The captains weren't the only ones confused. Sanan himself seemed to be just as surprised at his sudden transformation.
そうか。私も彼らのように気が触れていたのですね。
I see. So I went mad, just like the others. And all of a sudden you were normal again. I just can't understand how.
どうしてなのか自分でもわかりません。
How? I don't know.
考えるのは後にして、とにかく後始末だ。そこの死体を片付けて部屋の掃除だ。
We can figure that out later. First we need to clean up this room. Someone get rid of that body.
ああ、この畳はもうダメだな。
Floor mat's gonna have to go.
こっちの襖も変えなきゃだぜ。
And we're gonna have to replace this door. Each of them moved to begin some task that needed doing, and Hijikata turned toward me. Hi?
それとお前は
You. Yes, of course, I'll help too.
怪我人を引っ込んでろ。体を休めるのが先だ。
You're hurt. What you need to do is rest.
と言っても、この部屋は使えねえか。今
Cha-ching!
夜のとこは俺の部屋を使ってろ。
Since you also can't use your room, you can stay in mine for tonight. I get to stay with Hijikata. I'm sorry, I'm wounded. Thank you. Your room? Are you sure?
しょうがねえだろう。さっさと行け。
Do I have a choice? Go. Yes. Do I even know where his room is? I had no desire to remain in the blood-soaked room any longer, but I had to. It took me only minutes to reach Hijikata's room. It was an eventful night. Huh? Is it morning already? The sun was peeking through the window, and outside I could hear twitters and chirps of birdsong. Oh, right. The room I was in wasn't mine. It took me a moment to remember whose room it was, and then all the events of the previous night crowded back into my memory. I saw, vividly, the man who had gone mad with bloodlust, felt the sting as his sword bit into my arm. I got cut. I looked down at my arm. It had wrapped it in bandages the night before after insisting I could handle it myself, being the daughter of a doctor. Slowly I lifted it, then moved it in a circle. The cut had bled a lot, but fortunately it hadn't been particularly deep. I moved my arm some more. It didn't hurt. It bled so much, though. With deliberate care, I unwrapped the bandages. If I recall, we healed quite quickly. Self, did you forget? Of course. What had been an ugly open wound the night before was now little more than a faint white line. In a few days, even that would be gone. Well, I guess it's good if the wound is gone, but if anyone sees this... After some thought, I rewrapped the bandages. Unless I took them off, no one would know that my arm wasn't completely healed underneath. That reminded me, however, how were they doing? I was awake, so I figured I might as well go out to the common room and see if anyone was there. As I neared the entrance, Ito appeared on his way out. Heisuke and Saito followed in his wake, much to my confusion. Good morning.
ああ、君ですか。おはよう。命が助かったようで何よりですわね。
Oh, it's you. Good morning. I'm glad to see you safe and sound. Thank you. His mood was almost the polar opposite of the previous night. He seemed now to be in rather high spirits. Has something happened?
知りたい？
Would you like to know? Yes.
教えない。
I won't tell you. Okay. Tease.
ま、君にもすぐにわかりますわ。
Well, you'll learn soon enough.
ねえ、東堂くん、斉藤くん。
Isn't that right? Toudou? Saito? What? Actually, now I think about Saito wasn't there either. I thought it's in the eyebrows, Heisuke and Saito.
まあな。
Yeah, I guess. Then when our eyes met, he looked away. That seemed odd. Saito?
今は知る必要はないということだ。
You have no need for this information just now. Unlike his companion, Saito met my gaze straight on, but his eyes were flat and utterly devoid of any emotion. What the fuck happened?
行きましょう、伊藤さん。
We should go.
行くぞ。
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I love your voice and I just cut you off. My bad. We should go, Ito.
ああ。じゃあまたな。
Yeah. See you, Chizuru. And then they were gone, leaving me wondering what just had happened.
おや、もう起きてて大丈夫なのかい？
Are you sure it's alright for you to be up and about already? Ino and Shimada looked up as I stepped into the common room. Shimada? Who's Shimada? That doesn't help me. Officer Shinsengumi, as well as a spy, during these times of peace, he also served under Sunpachi for the 2nd Division. Okay, cool. I don't know who Shimada is. Whatever. I probably do know, and I'm just like, you just haven't referred to him in that way. I'm fine. I slept really well, and I feel a lot better.
それはよかっ
you.
た。
Hi.
しかし、災難でしたね。傷が痛んだりしませんか？
That's great. I'm sorry about what happened to you, though. Does your cut hurt? Oh, well, actually, it wasn't very deep. It barely hurts at all. I couldn't tell him the truth, of course. It was already almost completely healed. Oh, I ran into Ito on my way in. Did something happen?
そうかい。あったのかい。
Ah, so you saw them, eh? He frowned. He said something weird, and Heisuke and Saito were acting kind of strange too.
実は、伊藤さんたちは、ここから出ていくことになったんですよ。
Yeah, well, Ito and some others are leaving.
新しく隊を立てるらしい。新選組とは別に。
They're going to form a new group, different from the Shinsengumi. What? Is that okay?
近藤局長と土方副長が伊藤さんと話し合って決めたことですから。
We had a meeting this morning with the chief and Commander Hijikata. And?
御領英字だって
Guardians of the Imperial Tomb? What the heck is that? An organization that guard the Emperor's tomb is formed by Chizuru Ito after his departure from the Shinsengumi. The name also refers to members of this organization.
いかにもこの伊藤同志と共にここを出て孝明天皇の御領絵字を拝命する所存ですわ。
Yes, I intend to take some of my comrades and leave. We will be appointed official guardians in the Imperial Mausoleum.
前々から考えていたのですけれど、あんな場面を見せられてしまったのですから。
I've been considering such a move for some time now, but after last night's excitement,
ちょうどいい機会だと思いまして。
I felt this was the right time.
もともと尊王攘夷の志を持って新選組に協力しておりましたけれど、あなたたちとはどうにも水が合わなかったようですし。
I knew when I joined the Shinsengumi that my imperialism might not be welcome, but I thought we could work past that. I see now that I was mistaken.
理屈はいい。伊藤さん、あんた要するに隊を割ろうって言うんだろう。
Just spit it out, Ito. You want to split up the Shinsengumi.
隊を割るも何も、あなたたちのような獣の集団と一緒にいられませんわ。
Call it what you like, but I can no longer remain in the company of such savages as yourself. So this is why you never got a moving mouth, huh? You're not that important. I mean, you get to blink, but you don't get to move your mouth.
まあ伊藤さんがそこまで言うならしょうがない。だが説明したように今回の事件の大元は幕府の依頼なのだ。
If you insist, then I'll do as you ask. You must remember, however, that last night's incident is a result of the orders from the shogunate.
今回のことを外に漏らされては我々も黙っているわけにはいかない。
We cannot allow you to reveal the secret.
そこは取引というものですわ。あなたたちは黙っていてほしいし、私たちは出て行きたい。
Then I propose a deal. Allow me to depart peacefully, and in return, I will remain silent.
だから出るにあたって、大使を分けてほしいと言っているのよ。
What? I also wish to keep several of your men with me.
わかった。だが連れて行くからには本人の承諾をお願いしますよ。
Very well, but anyone you wish to take must agree to leave.
それはもちろんですわ。
Of course.
表向きは協力関係にあるという形を取らせていただきますし。
I will, naturally, maintain the fiction that we intend to continue to cooperate with one another.
その方がお互いにとっても都合がよろしいじゃないかしら。
A stance that will no doubt benefit both of us. I cut you off, but you're just laughing.
協力体制ね。ということだそうだ。トシ、これでいいかい？
Cooperation. Fine. Toshi, what do you think?
近藤さんがそう決めたなら、俺はもう何も言わねえよ。
It's your decision, not mine. True that. You are chief. Then, Heisuke and Saito. No! Heisuke left the Shinsengumi with Kaisho Ito to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. No, Saito. Bastards. I loved you.
伊藤さんについていくそうだよ。驚いたね。
Yes, they're living with Ito. I confess I'm rather surprised. Then again, they might be going with him to make sure he just keeps silent about it. No. But that would mean I'd never see them again?
案ずることはない。言っただろう。これは友好的な関係を前提とした分離だ。
Don't worry, remember what I said. We're going to keep relations amicable between our two organizations. Kondo. It was kind of him to try and comfort me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was going to befall the Shinsengumi and its members.
そうは言っても、今後はエジと新選組大使との交流は禁止するつもりだろ
You're not going to let the men interact with the guard, though, right? Short for the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, the organization formed by Ito, and he broke. Okay, I got that already. Guard for short, got it. The expression on his face was likely a mirror of my own.
当然だ。これ以上あいつらの好き勝手にさせるつもりはねえからな。
Of course not. He gets to leave, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let him get away with whatever he wants. But is this really okay? Ito and the others leaving, I mean.
伊藤派が抜けたところで困ることはない。
Ito and his men leaving isn't a problem. Hijikata's voice was flat, but unconcerned.
ま、平助と斎藤も一緒だっていうのは少しばかり計算外だったがな。
Although I was a little surprised that Heisuke and Saito decided to go with that snake.
少しどころではないな。
I would say more but a little. From there, the conversation moved into a discussion of politics and the little that was beyond my ability to follow. And what could I have said anyway? The decisions had already been made, and there was nothing I could have said to change it. I got up quietly and left the common room. I never thought something like this could happen. I was especially worried about the guard. No, I'm more worried about the soldiers. Screw the guard. But why, Saito and Heisuke? Why? What about the feelings of those being left behind? I want to know how the people in the Shinsengumi felt about Ito and his followers leaving. I decided to ask. Oh, okay. Dang, I got a lot of questions all at once. Okay, someone high-ranking, neutral, someone close to people who were leaving. High-ranking seems useful. The heads of the Shinsengumi seemed like the best people to ask, but they were all still talking in the common room. Perhaps I should wait a bit until they were done. Almost as if on cue, Hijikata appeared in the hallway. Oh, hello, Hijikata.
お前か。休んでなくていいのか。
Shouldn't you be resting? Oh, I feel a lot better now.
医者の娘だから特別な妙薬を持っているというわけでもないだろう。
Your dad's a doctor.
部屋でおとなしくしていろ。
Your dad's a doctor, and you know a little about medicine, but that doesn't mean you're an invulnerable. Go back to your room, and try not to run around too much. Okay, I'll be careful. It's easy to forget one had suffered significant injury when it healed almost completely by morning. I'll go back to my room, but can I ask you something first?
なんだ?
What? It's about Ito and the people who are leaving with him. How do you feel about that?
どうとはどういうことだ?
What do you mean? Well, people who are members of Shinsengumi won't be.
たとえ今日まで仲間だったとしても、お互いの立場が変われば、明日からは敵になる。ただそれだけの話だ。
We were allies yesterday, but if our position changed, we could be enemies tomorrow. That's life. No wonder they called him the demon. His voice was cold, calculating, and utterly flat. What about Saito and Heisuke? They had to have been captains together. Sure, Hijikata saw them as friends, at least.
斎藤や東堂か。確かに優秀な戦力を引き抜かれたことは痛手だがな。
Saito and Tendo. It's going to be rough to lose those pair of skilled swordsmen, yes.
だが、これから先のことを考えれば、今この時期に体内の不満分子を切り離せたことの方が大きい。
But think about the future. If they're leaving, then they had some problem with Shinsengumi. Better they leave now than before that problem gets worse. How could he be so cold and analytical about his friends? On the other hand, his logic made sense. If Ito and company were leaving because they were incompatible with Shinsengumi, then perhaps it was for the best. But the best thing for the future of Shinsengumi, also the best thing for Hijikata? I couldn't understand. I don't know, you tell me. My wound healed completely soon afterward, and I kept the bandages on. I got plenty of questions about how I was recovering, but the best I could do was nod, smile, and assure them I was fine. The truth was, I didn't even have a scar. I couldn't have pointed out where my armor had been cut if someone had asked me. When Ito and his followers, now the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, left, the compound seemed suddenly very empty. It's like the Shinsengumi was falling apart around me, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. But this was something more than a natural result of the Shinsengumu's growth, or the harbinger of something far greater and more terrible. I don't know. Well, I guess there ends our first half of chapter 3. So I guess we'll see what happens in part 2. Until then, Kaze out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. See you later.